Welcome back to another episode of the Nightly Brew. With kids starting to pick their school schedules for next year, we thought this would be a great time to highlight some electives offered here at RFA. Today we're in the art wing and we're going to be talking to Mrs. Colmy about some various art classes that she teaches. Hi, Mrs. Colmy.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
Thank you for being on the Nightly Brew.
Yeah.
I just have a few questions for you.
Sure.
The first one is, what classes do you teach here at RFA, and can you tell us a little bit about each?
Sure. So I teach studio art, which is the introduction to art. And that's basically an overview. Everybody has to take studio art before they take anything else. I also teach drawing and painting, which is a little more advanced version of studio art, where you get to do traditional arts like drawing and painting. But we also do a couple other things that are fun. And then I'm teaching creative crafts, which is a half-year class where we focus on, it's not crafting like scrapbooking. It's learning about different cultures and how they solve problems, making, there's stuff on the table there, making different crafts, but they solve the problem. Like this might be some kind of pottery, but it actually would hold the water for a certain civilization because they had to figure out how to get water.
Oh, really?
So we learn about and then try to make some of those things. So those are my three classes that I teach.
What has been your greatest accomplishment as an artist?
I would say when I started a nonprofit called Artistry, which opened up the fine arts for the general population, because I think a lot of times people are creating art in their own living room or dining room, but they don't really have anywhere to show it. So I started that as a nonprofit for people to be able to show their work. People who were just maybe afraid to do it, everybody was welcome to show it. So I think that's probably it.
Do you think you'd be able to show us some of your students' artwork?
Yeah, I was just over here. So let's take a look in this drawer. I have a bunch of prints. These are prints. We do printmaking, which is where you carve out a plate. I wish I had one. Oh, here's one. You carve out a plate like this, and you ink it up, and then you essentially stamp it onto the paper. So these are a few examples of printmaking that we've done this year. It's a little adorable duck and a snail. And this was some kind of an octopus type situation happening. So that's printmaking. These are some examples of what I call ink and wash, which is when you do an ink drawing, and then over the top of the ink, which is permanent, you can do watercolor right over the top of the ink. So these are some examples of that. And then here are some still lifes we did. We set these objects up right on our tables. And then everybody tries to tackle them. These were done with charcoal on toned paper. So when you draw on toned paper, you can add white to it to get the highlights, and it really makes it pop off the paper as opposed to doing it on a white paper. So those are some of the things. These are all from drawing and painting, but those are some of the things that we've done this year so far.
What is one art class offered at RFA that you think any student should take if they were given the opportunity?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. Well, definitely studio art, because you can't take anything else unless you take studio art. So definitely take studio art. And then what I would say, instead of directly answering that, is whatever in studio art piques your interest. It might be like digital stuff. It might be sculptural stuff. Whatever makes you excited, I would go ahead and sign up for that class next.
Great. If you could choose one art class to teach here for the rest of your career, what would it be?
I'm going to have to go with drawing and painting because it's traditional. I'm a traditional artist. I don't like to stray too much from pencil to paper or paint to canvas. So I think that would be it. You can really dig deep during that class.
Yeah. Do you have any advice for a student who may be wanting to take an art class or be wanting to pursue a career in art?
If you want to take an art class, definitely just sign up, because it's so fun. And I got to tell you, the different types of kids that sign up, it always becomes a little family in the classroom because you get a little vulnerable. Yeah. So even if you're signing up without any friends or anything, you're going to end up making a whole bunch of new friends for sure. So definitely just sign up and try it out. So if you're thinking of pursuing a career in art, all I can say is keep practicing, even on your own, even if it's not your school projects. just keep working on your own art in a sketchbook or a notepad, anything at all, and then you'll develop more and keep practicing and it will make you a better artist overall.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today and showing us a little bit of your students' art.
You're so welcome. Thank you for